want to show you a really quick, easy way of utilizing pre-made gum paste flowers to make a really plain cake look really fancy. If you're like me, you're okay with gum paste flowers, maybe you haven't tried some, or you're afraid to try them. I know they're really time consuming, so if you haven't perfected that art yet, then this is a really great way to pull gum paste flowers into your design without a lot of cost or time. So let's get started and I'll show you how to use gum paste flowers. First, let me introduce you to how the flowers come. At Sweetwise, we offer a number of options of gum paste flowers, and you can look at the individual items on the website to see what works for you as far as color, size, if you need a little cluster or individual roses or something larger itself. So they come really well packaged. If you'll take a look at this one, the flower will come out of the box something like this. This is a small rose cluster, and then each rose is also protected with a little bit of styrofoam as well. So it rarely comes with any breakage. The flower comes right out of the styrofoam base, like so, and it's wrapped with a little bit of aluminum foil, so you can stick it right in your cake if you need to. Bad idea to stick wires straight into the cake, so those come protected. Every flower on here is individually wired, so you can manipulate each blossom to where you want it to sit so it'll look a little bit more full. So if you look at the individual descriptions of individual flowers, you'll be able to see the sizes a little bit better. And then I'm going to show you here in just a second how to figure out the total length of what you need. I'm going to go for a garland look on the cake we're making today, and we'll incorporate a few different versions of some of the gum paste flowers that are available to you. The first thing you want to do is estimate how many gum paste flowers you're going to need. It's easy to go to the descriptions again on the website of how much length and width there is to each flower. But you also need to know how much you need for your cake. So you can take just a general string like this and kind of estimate the length of what your garland would be, and then lay it out and line your flowers up to it. So I've got a rough estimate of how much length I need here with this string. And I have an assortment of flowers here. I just want to kind of lay them out in roughly the length of the string, just so I can estimate how much flowers I need. So knowing by looking at the description of the flower, let's say if this one is 6 inches by 4 inches, I know I have 6 inches of length, so on, so on, so on, so I can add up how much I need. So I just want to arrange right on my table an assortment. So maybe I'll have my reds separated. I know a few orchids would look nice in here. A little cluster of roses here, maybe another orchid, this sort of thing here, just however it looks good to you. And then we're going to go back and stick them on the cake, and then you can go in with little individual flowers like so and put those in, and we're going to bind everything together so it makes sense in a nice garland down the cake. But this is just a really good way to kind of estimate the length of how much you need. So here's how we get them to the cake. Again, each is bound with aluminum foil. If you feel like it's not high enough, you can go back and just add a little bit more on there, make it nice and secure. If the aluminum foil, you don't like that touching the cake as well, it is food safe, but if you don't like it, you can always brush that with a little white chocolate before you stick it in the cake and it'll be even nicer. So before you stick anything on the cake, you want to just kind of separate the blossoms and have it in a nice arrangement so it looks nice and natural. And then you can bend your aluminum foil a little bit. I'm working on a dummy cake here, so I'm going to stick it just straight in the styrofoam. And again, if it's wrapped in foil, it's fine in the cake. So what I'm going to do is just kind of line up what I think looks good for a topper. So maybe a little moth orchid up here would look good with that. And then you can always fill with individual flowers if you like. So maybe something in here. And then you can just tie the wires together a little bit. So now that we've got our top piece on, let me show you how to connect in a garland fashion coming all the way down the cake. So I'm chosen my next piece that I would have put on, and I'm separating the blossoms again, just as I did with the first one. Again, everything's wired separately. I'm just going to take an independent piece of floral wire that I can connect it to. So let me turn this a bit so you can see. I'm just going to kind of hook behind it, twist once, and then that way I can anchor it to this one as well. So again, just twisting around that wire, and we can hide all these wires with little leaves that we add later on. But just twisting that so that it has some support for the weight of it, and it can just, again, fix the blossoms and see it cascading, starting to cascade down the cake. And then again, as we build our garland, you'll see us put like individual filler flowers here to hide those wires.